Good evening, everyone. Thank you all for being here and those who are joining us virtually. This is our February meeting, and appreciate you all in attendance. Those who may not be here for the remainder of our meeting, I want to wish you a happy Valentine's Day and enjoy the nice rainy part of the weekend anyway. Hopefully the sun will come out. But again, thank you for being here and welcome. At this time, I'm going to ask Councilman Hinkle if he would give us an invocation.
We'll bow our heads, please. Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening asking for your blessing and help as we are gathered together. We pray for guidance in the matters at hand and ask that you would clearly show us how to conduct our work with a spirit of joy and enthusiasm as elected representatives of the people. Give us the desire to find ways to excel in our work, help us to work together, and encourage each other to excellence. We ask that you would challenge us, each of us, to reach higher and further to be the best that we can be. And all these things we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Thank you. Please stand as we recite our pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Councilman, Council Lady, you've got your agendas in front of you. I believe Kim prepared an updated agenda as a reflection of Monday night's discussion, but I want to ask you all if there are any adjustments to tonight's agenda.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make an adjustment. Item 9B be moved to our consent agenda.
Any other adjustments?
I also would like to propose an adjustment which may require a separate vote, but under Section 8, Old Business, 8A, the barium season's homeowner request, I would like to move that we table this issue until next month's meeting.
Okay. I believe we can do it all in one vote. That makes sense. Anything from staff?
No, sir. Was just going to comment both, and I appreciate Mayor Pro Tem and Councilman Jared Zinsky for making those motions. We have had contact from several citizens on Roman numeral 8, and I think that warrants postponing. And of course, Monday's agenda briefing, you all made determination on items for Roman numeral 9B, and Andrew has sent that out to you all to verify it was as you would like that to read.
Okay, thank you. Councilman, any other comments? Okay. I will ask for a vote on the amendments to tonight's agenda. Moving item 9B to consent and item 8A to postpone to next meeting. Is there a motion to amend the agenda as presented?
I'll make that motion, Mayor.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made, received a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. The next item on the agenda is our consent agenda. These items will be presented and voted on with one motion. As was stated, moving item 9B to consent. We did discuss in detail on Monday night. As our manager stated, Andrew did provide details of the changes to the ordinance as we discussed. If there are no other adjustments to the agenda, consent agenda, I'll ask for a motion to approve.
Make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Motion is made to approve our consent. Is there a second? Motion made, receive a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. The next item on our agenda is recognition and presentations. I'll turn it over to Mr. Wyatt.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. At this time, I call up Public Works Director Austin Wall to introduce our 2 employees of the month.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. For the month of January, we have 2 employees of the month. These 2 are being recognized for hard work and dedication for a series of events that happened in January. But like many of the employees here, they could be recognized much more. Picture this, it's Friday, January 10th. The high for the day is supposed to be a warm 28 degrees. Winter storm is moving through, bread and milk flying off the shelf. Jim Cantorni from the Weather Channel is on his way to town. It's cold, and what happens? A phone call about a water main break on Wagner Street. The guys get loaded up and head up there to make the repairs. With the location of the water leak, it is flowing towards the basement of customers downhill, towards their basement. The guys must use the vac truck to get down to the main and pump the water into the street. As they slowly expose the main, the leak starts to show itself more and more by shooting upwards of 20 feet in the air. Cameron and Casey don't hesitate a bit and jump into the hole with the water soaking them both to their core. While they're in the hole getting soaked, they have to descale the pipe, which is make it smooth so they can put a repair clamp on it. So it just extends that time. After they got the leak stopped, I had to force both of them to get into the truck and get warm, and yet they both wanted to stay and help clean up and backfill. Well, if that wasn't enough for one day, we got a call about another leak on Talley Street. By this time, the snow was starting to come down pretty good. After spending some time trying to locate where the leak exactly was, because it was coming up in multiple cracks in the road, we decided to leave and come back in the morning due to the weather and the nighttime. So it was getting dark and the roads were getting treacherous. Saturday morning, the guys made this repair under close to the same temperature and conditions as the day before. There's some things on the job that can't be taught, and taking cold water 100 PSI to the face is one of those things. Once again, these fellows did it without hesitation. For this, I would like to recognize Cameron Morris and Casey Beasley as the Town of Troutman Employees of the Month of January.
Come on up, guys. While they're making their way up front, I would like to also add, at our monthly directors meeting, we solicit information on who has been and who should be noted, but I actually had 2 different police officers to acknowledge the things that Austin just read about and recommend these young men to be our employees of the month for the outstanding jobs they did. Now that I see Casey's Tennessee shoes, we might need to take one of those back.
Oh, the covers on.
Liz, yeah, okay, I was like, what is going on? Glad taking that off.
Y'all got 5-minute speeches each.
Congratulations, and we appreciate all that you all do, keeping our system running. I did pull up out there a couple of times, just seeing you guys out there, and really appreciate what you were doing during this time. And I know this is just one of the couple of incidents that occur that you all go out and really service our system. So again, thank you for that. I was just curious whether or not Casey was out there in these shorts that they're showing on this in 28-degree weather, but I'm hoping that wasn't the case. But yeah, again, thank you all. Well deserved. The next item on our agenda is old business. And we've moved that out, which takes us into new business. And the first item is to consider text amendment TA 2501 regarding addition of language establishing a local commercial zoning category to Article 2, 2.3.13, and amend the use matrix. I will now open this public hearing and turn it over to our planning director, Mr. Van Treska.
Thank you. I hope everybody's doing well tonight. So the request is to provide language within the UDO that allows for a lower intensity commercial district, which is why we're creating the local commercial district. What does low intensity commercial look like? It refers to small scale shops and services. It would be intended for small commercial office and service operations along corridors, prominent intersections, or really any area identified as commercial within the Troutman jurisdiction. So what are the characteristics of the created LC district if approved? It would serve the surrounding area. It would allow for less intense commercial and service uses along thoroughfares and areas that are designated commercial on our future land use map. And I made I basically said what inspired this was kind of the 21 corridor with all the old houses we kind of see as going to commercial in the future, as well as Eastway Drive. I mentioned that on Monday night. And this also allows for live-work opportunities. So by that I mean if, let's say, a house down in Eastway flips to a commercial use, maybe the owner, the boutique shop or something wants to live there as well. We do allow some residential uses in this district, so they are permitted to live on the property that they work at. Why local commercial? Well, planning staff did notice a gap within our ordinance. We have commercial zoning district central business, which is your typical downtown. It has maximum setbacks, and it's meant for basically attached commercial buildings. So that doesn't really fit any kind of infill development we have along corridors. And then we also have our highway business district, which is catered towards travelers from outside. So think exit 42. You've got your gas stations, your service areas, and shopping centers, places like Lowe's and the soon-to-be Food Line shopping center. And we also have a neighborhood center district, but this one's geared more towards, it's smaller scale mixed use neighborhoods. And I'll say, I think it's like a wannabe Birkdale, and it really does not fit anything we have. So to me, it was kind of a little bit useless to even have in the ordinance, so I wanted to create something that was actually practical. And then also, I believe this district will create and encourage some commercial development along corridors. So what's being proposed? We are adding development standards into the UDO, and this is basically just setback information in Section 2 of the ordinance. One thing that I'd like to point out is that particular uses would be conditional use only. So meaning basically anything over 5,000 square feet would be a conditional zoning, meaning we'd have a site plan and a proposal coming in front of council. So this would help us get on top of the actual, basically the site flow, maybe if we needed to see if there's a TIA up at the front part of it. So it would help us to get on top of things from the start. Uses identified in the table were included in your packet, so you can see what's allowed. The signs, buffers, and tree saves will be consistent with other commercial districts in the UDO. And then, as with all zoning requests, these are only coming to you if the property owner actually requests it. So basically, planning staff isn't going to go out and force people to try to zone into this district. It will be an option to the property owner. Planning board did hear this request at its last meeting, and it recommended approval unanimously. And obviously, with staff initiating this, staff does recommend approval as well. And with that, I'll open it up for any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Ventresca?
I meant to ask this Monday. What do other towns call this area?
They typically call it neighborhood commercial, but since we have that neighborhood center in there, I didn't want there to be any confusion.
Other questions?
I do have a question, just based off the presentation you just gave, referencing like Birkdale and how we don't really have a need for that type of zoning. Wouldn't that become much more, or am I off base here? Would this become much more relevant to us when Wakefield comes online?
Wakefield was approved as what's called a mixed-use development. So In turn, they're kind of the same thing, but the mixed use allows for more intensity. So that neighborhood center, it's from 3 to 50 acres, whereas the mixed use would be from 50 plus. So the town
Mixed
center,
use what? I'm sorry, can you speak up a little?
excuse me?
Can you speak up just a little? I'm sorry to catch that. Mixed use what?
Okay, a mixed use is 50 acres or greater,
Okay.
where this neighborhood center is 3 to 50 acres. So it could have some use if we start getting larger mixed-use developments, but from what we've seen, I think we're quite a ways down the road if those uses do come through.
Thank you.
Andrew, does our ordinance on accessory structure, would it impact this area at all?
With accessory structures, basically side and rear yard, and they would have to meet the principal setbacks of the principal building setbacks.
Okay.
So,
Other questions? Okay, all right, thank you. I will now open it up to the public for any public comment regarding this text amendment. Okay, seeing none, I will now declare this public hearing closed. Council, you've heard from Mr. Van Treska and was able to ask some questions. We will now consider ordinance 0125, titled an ordinance amending the Troutman Unified Development Ordinance to include language creating a local commercial zoning district. Is there a motion regarding this ordinance?
Make that motion.
Thank you. Mr. Jaredzinski, is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Mr. Osher, is there any other question or comment? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. We will now consider a statement of consistency. I would ask that you read the full statement. Is there such a statement?
I would like to make a motion regarding consistency of this action. This text amendment is consistent with the 2018 strategic plan and the Unified Development Ordinance, as it would provide for lower intensity commercial uses currently not addressed in the UDO and is reasonable and in the public interest.
Thank you. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is made, received a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. The next item is public comments. You're invited to address the council with any comments or concerns. Please limit your comments to 3 minutes and direct those directly to the council.
Good evening. I'm here to invite you to the 3rd annual DACI In the Know, Drug Alcohol Coalition of Iredell In the Know event on February 18th. This is a conversation about youth and the effect of alcohol and addiction, tobacco, things like that on our youth and how to prevent those issues. We're also having 2 speakers. One will talk about addiction and the developing brain, and another will be a mother who is going to share her story of losing her son to fentanyl poisoning. I've heard her speak. It's very, very moving. There will be a hidden in plain sight bedroom to teach parents how to find these things in your children's bedrooms. Changing the narrative with addiction. Iredell Behavioral Health, Iredell Davis Behavioral Health is going to speak. Youth exposure to alcohol, fetal alcohol syndrome, Veterans Treatment Court, and Narcan training will also be offered in this. Breakfast and lunch is provided. It's from 9:30 until 2:30. And I hope a lot of our community members will come. It's going to be in Statesville at the Citizen Center on Tuesday, February 18th. So I hope the community and you guys, I sent you emails. I hope you guys will be able to attend.
Please state your name
Debbie
and
Page.
sign in.
I did.
Awesome.
Oh, I did. I'm sorry. I thought I did.
Awesome. Thank you, Ms. Page. I will not be able to attend. I was hoping to. I'll be out of town, but hopefully folks in the community and any of the council members welcome to attend. Great, thank you. Any other comments for the council? Okay, thank you. We will now move into elected official reports and comments. I will start to my left. Mr. Jarozinski?
I have no comments this evening.
Great, thank you. Ms. Harris?
Just want to say happy Valentine's Day to everyone. I didn't want to read all the earrings on here, but happy Valentine's Day, everyone.
You wear red all the time. I'll leave that alone for another conversation. Mr. Hinkle? Okay. Mr. Oxer?
I would like to wish pretty much everybody a happy Valentine's Day. It's my sister's birthday tomorrow, so I would like to wish her a happy birthday. So it is the least romantic day of the year for me. So I apologize to my wife and happy birthday to my sister.
Can I please add that it's my son's 17th birthday, our miracle child. Tomorrow is Valentine's Day, he's our love child, so happy birthday to my oldest son.
Okay, good. Thank you all. Again, I appreciate the comments that were made for our employees of the month. Again, I know it's probably one of those that we've got a lot of employees that continue to do some good work, and so it's good to see that there's a list of employees from all departments that we can recognize. So again, we appreciate that. With that, I will turn it over to Mr. Watt for staff reports and comments.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I would just like, as already been pointed out, with a couple things that Public Works had to deal with. All the departments have been extremely busy the past month, and without specifically stating the task each of them done, the list is long. I appreciate the department directors and all of our employees in the job that they have done. And I appreciate the kind comments from you all. And I think we would be remiss if we didn't say congratulations, Philadelphia, for their accomplishment. I realize some citizens are sad about it, but
Strike.
if it couldn't be my team, it might as well be Philly. But that's all my comments, short and brief. I appreciate the staff and their department directors and all the extra work that we seem to do. What's normally, as speaking with Mayor Pro Tem earlier, I don't know what the anomaly was in January, but Troutman businesses and staff was a lot busier than normal. And I just thankful for the business part of it, but I appreciate the staff and their hard work.
Thank you. With that, takes us to closed session pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143 through 1186 to discuss a personnel matter. Council, can I get a motion to go into closed session?
Make that motion, Mayor?
Is there a second? Motion is made, receive the second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposition? Hearing none. Who do we need in closed session?
Just counsel and the clerk.
Great. Thank you all. Have a good evening.
Debbie, can you leave a few of